Hey, Mike Darrow here with Feeding the Carolinas. Thought I'd take a moment to sit out here in this nice North Carolina weather, fall weather, and just reflect on the last month. It was a month ago when Hurricane Helene came to visit the Carolinas, and it's been a month. It's been some crazy times. We've seen devastation and we've seen hope, and so I was able to go to Asheville to visit the former Manna Food Bank that was completely destroyed, and words don't describe the destruction and the power of water that's 20 to 25 feet over normal levels just roaring through a building. Complete and total loss is just shocking. On the other hand, on the positive side, I got to go to the new Manna Food Bank building that they were able to move into. It was basically a shell, and so they're going to have to upfit it, but they're receiving food, and most importantly, food is going out. Food is going out to their partner agencies in all the counties in which they serve. And so they are so focused and determined to get back on track and get food to people who are in need. Their T-shirts say "Manna Rising," and it's certainly the case. Manna has arisen from a total destruction to being functional and delivering and doing what they can to serve. It's just absolutely amazing. One could argue miraculous that you can see God's hand through all this, through all the destruction and pain. There are a glimpse of God's hand, which is amazing. So we have that going on. We have our other food banks who were impacted. Second Harvest of Northwest North Carolina, Second Harvest Metrolina, Golden Harvest Food Bank in South Carolina, as well as Harvest Hope Food Bank again in South Carolina. And so between Western North Carolina and the foothills, the upstate of South Carolina, and the area down near Aiken, kind of bordering Augusta, Georgia, lots of destruction, lots of need, and so we have stepped up. Our network has, and we see examples all around us of different communities helping. Everywhere from rocking my Angel Oak Creative nonprofit shirt because nonprofits have certainly stepped up. Angel Oak is helping us with crisis management and communications. The food banks are helping each other. We've got Metrolina cranking out thousands of boxes of food boxes. We have Second Harvest Northwest is serving alongside Manna Food Bank in Manna's counties of Avery, Mitchell, and Yancey because they border Northwest counties, and so they knew that they could get to those counties through theirs rather than from Asheville in that direction. So they've been working together and not worrying about borders or worrying about really anything. And so we see this across all our network. Every single member food bank of Feeding the Carolinas, all 10 of them, have either been serving in their own area or helping in the other areas, all of them. And it's such a beautiful thing to see us literally feeding the Carolinas and then also feeding hope. Providing that food, having that truck come roll into a community full of food boxes and water, MREs, ready to eat meals. We're feeding hope. We're providing hope as well. And so things are settling a little bit. We're starting to look ahead. We have the holidays coming. We're settling into a new reality. We've got Manna Food Bank who just wrote a check for $13 million to buy their shell of a building, which depleted all of their capital campaign funds they had been setting aside for a future building, which is great. But now they have to spend a large amount of money, equal to or more than that, to upfit the building. With no racks, no forklifts, no offices, no refrigeration, no freezers, the list goes on. And so that's a daunting task, but we're up for it and helping them. What can you do? There's a couple different things. One, I continue to say, the best way to help us is through your financial donations. In the first 48 hours of Hurricane Helene, we received over 3,000 donations from individuals like you. Average donation around $100 or so. So, close to 500,000 or more. Now, that has slowed down some, frankly, because as things settle in and we start thinking about things like the election next week and holidays and other things, we can get distracted. And so please remember, we're in this for the long run. This is months and months and even years. And so we're doing things like working with FEMA, who have been wonderful despite what you may be hearing. They are definitely on the ground and supporting. They working with them, we're getting enough food to pack 118,000 boxes that will do in Metrolina to help over the next 3 months or so. We're projecting. We're also FEMA's helping with getting equipment for Manna, so we can get them up and running, and getting some refrigerated trucks to temporarily have some refrigeration space for fresh produce. And so where you can help us with your financial donations. If you're wanting to donate, physical items, what I would encourage you to do is make sure you have a plan. Make sure you're connected with someone in a local community to know specifically what they need and when they need it. Because we're seeing and hearing across the entire impacted area that a lot of local organizations are overwhelmed with stuff, with clothing or water or items that they may not be able to, canned goods that don't have a pop-top can, and with no power you can't open them. And so have a plan, have a community that you know what they need, and then if you want, deliver that. Collect those items and bring it in. Just don't just show up, because you can become a burden. In that, if you show up with a lot of clothes, for example, at a place that already has clothing, they have to sort through it, figure out what pieces they may need, and then figure out what to do with, the leftovers, as you will. So, again, I'd encourage you just to have a plan. Make sure you're focused in on that community. We'll start having volunteer opportunities within Manna once they're ready. They're still trying to stand up. All the other food banks certainly need volunteers as we get into the holidays, because there was a food insecurity crisis before Helene, and a food resource crisis before Helene, actually having food. And so we were pretty thin across the network already, and then Helene came. Manna was serving 150,000 people a month. I'm sure now that's at least doubled, at least. So your prayers are appreciated. Your financial support is appreciated. FeedingTheCarolinas.org is the easy way to do it, or you can go straight to one of our food banks. And then, just continue to remember us. Continue to support us. We'll keep updating, because we're going to be in this for the long haul. We're not going anywhere, because that's what we do. We feed the Carolinas, and we are feeding hope, and we will continue to do that. Thanks a lot.